The A Show.
Where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Hey, beautiful people. What is up, yo? So welcome to our last Wednesday show before we go back to, yes, Tuesday nights. Same time, same place, just Tuesdays. Because it's a lot more fun to say, see you next Tuesday. So we will be happy to see you then. And I'm trying to mess with my thing right here. There we go. We're seeing people are showing up. Hello, everybody, come on in. And you know the deal. When you hear the tweeting and the squeaking in the back, from the birdies, that is your cue.
I have my alcohol ready.
That is your cue to drink. So, So Bigwig, Michael, everybody joining us. Thank you for being here. We have a slow filter in tonight. So I don't know if you guys are experiencing this, but we are in Florida. Okay, so the news does not report Florida very well. And I'll get into that in a second. But I see, here we go. Winona, cool, awesome dude. Canada Spaceman. I see everybody coming in. Yeah, you're alive. You haven't drowned. No shit, right? So ask me that tomorrow. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has sent birthday wishes, birthday presents, birthday greetings, gift cards, which I have not gotten a chance to check out yet, but
happy birthday.
I appreciate it. Thank you. That was yesterday. I have not gotten a chance to look at much because, Steve, I saw I missed a call from you. I'm sorry. Here's why I haven't gotten a chance to do anything. It's because despite the news saying that the hurricane's missing Florida, the hurricane is not missing Florida. And we're in evacuation. So Zone A and all the trailers and stuff, they're already evacuated. Everybody has to be out by 8 a.m. So we are getting endless alarms, notification from everybody, storm surge, everything. So I have not had a second to sit down and do anything because I've just been at the sandbag depot and storm prep, and just it's been freaking insane here. And then it's hilarious. Like my friends, everybody's like, hey, call me back. It's like, hey, do you not know we're getting hit with a hurricane? It's like, oh, the news says you guys aren't getting hit. It's going out west. It's just going to hit Texas. It's like, yeah, I don't think they would evacuate everybody if it really, the news says that. I know the news hates Florida, but man, they really hate Florida. So, yeah.
I've had those calls today too. So.
Yeah. Build that boat. Yeah, like exactly. So, Noah was a conspiracy theorist. They thought he was crazy, and then it started to rain. So, Fred, what's up? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for, like I said, thank you for the birthday wishes. And there's Alex. What's up? So yeah, I know a lot of you guys are here in Florida with me. So Allie, what's up? Happy birthday to me. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. So you gotta love the news. And speaking of, we have a lot to fill you in on that I don't think you guys are hearing about because this has been a crazy week. So this is our final Wednesday podcast before we go back to Tuesday nights again, same time, 7:00 Eastern. So, hopefully you will remember that and join us and set your notifications and, all that. And Michael, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm reading what G Prime. Hi, G Prime. There are male hurricanes, Hurricane Ivan 2004-ish, Hurricane Barry a few years ago. So where were those? Were they here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, it seems like the female hurricanes do the worst. Well, Michael did a lot.
This one reminds me of Hurricane Elena in '85.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it doesn't sit off the coast and spin, of course. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's this one's interesting. It's got an interesting vibe going on. So, but we'll be good. We'll be okay. Florida survives.
Yeah. Canada Spaceman says, I learned today that InfoWars, Alex Jones is getting taken by the Sandy Hook families. Yeah, he had to liquidate his assets. That just
Heard
seems
something about
insane
that.
to me. It really does. I mean,
It's not fair.
it's we talked about this on a show probably well over a year ago when all this happened. It just seems insane. The reason I think they went after him is to make him, he's the largest, other than he's the largest, conspiracy theorist or truther out there. And then you have Joe Rogan. So if you go after either one of them and make an example out of them, it sends a clear message to everybody else, from the highest down on down. So that's why they do that. It's a warning. It's like, okay, this happened to this guy, so watch your mouth. And I think the point is to not watch your mouth, push back. So
Right.
we got a lot of that. We're going to talk about what happened in court this week with Border Patrol, which was insane. That not everybody is talking about this right now. It's flabbergasting to me. My gast is literally flabbered. The WHO pandemic treaty. You've heard me talk about this a lot. Unfortunately, it flew under the radar and they did something different with it. That's our main story. Amazon did something really kind of interesting recently that you guys might want to know about. That kind of falls in line with that WHO pandemic treaty. We'll talk about the pagers in Lebanon. I don't know how much you guys are paying attention to these things, but if you're not, these are really interesting stories. We'll talk about statins and salt related to your health and how the medical information, or the medical community, I should say, the medical industrial complex gets it wrong all the time. And we've been saying this for a while because a lot of people in fitness are literally biohackers. They're so far ahead of the curve by decades. I mean, decades, that, people, the information just sounds crazy. Like years and years ago, we were saying, eat meat, eat fat, eat meat, eat fat. They're like, no, that's crazy. That's really crazy. Now they're saying, eat meat, eat fat. So, we have some new information that we've known for a little while, but the medical community, it's still giving you guys some bad advice. So we'll talk about that.
Really? No, I can't hear. No.
Yeah. We'll talk about mpox, monkeypox. There's some interesting stuff there. And a really cool TV show that we started watching that's only on Prime for 6 more days. But if you work real hard at it, you get the whole season in. So, so that's basically, we're going to knock that out in a little over an hour because we still have some storm prep to do. So where do you want to start?
Well, why don't you tell them about Memphis last week?
Oh, yeah. I'm still
Where have you been? What you been up to?
Yeah, I'm hurting. I flew out to Memphis and I thought I had 10 matches to film for pay-per-view and I had 11. And, these are filmed for online pay-per-view. They're customs. So the fans kind of book them. And normally we go in and we shoot all day and all night on Saturdays. We start around, 8 in the morning. But as time has gone on, it has gotten more and more insane. And so have the flights. So it used to be I could take a Southwest flight. Sorry, I'm shifting because I'm miserable and uncomfortable and my elbow's messed up and all kinds of stuff. I got a bruise on my boobie. My boobie bruise. Somebody hit me. I don't know if you can see it. So somebody punched me in the tit. So
well, they're still there, so that's good.
They're still there. Right. So yeah. That kind of space says, give me the good stuff now. You're just gonna have to fucking wait, mister.
That's right.
That's how it is. You just gonna have to wait. Anyway, so we went out there and they started. Nope. You missed it. You throw some bitties, you get to see some titties. Right. That's how it works. Boom, boom.
Titty Tuesdays next week, anyway.
Yeah, so we went out there, and it's literally as soon as we got off the flight, which I couldn't get a Southwest flight, so I have like anxiety because now I have to fly Delta, and I don't know Delta. I've been flying Southwest for 15 years, but Southwest has gotten completely shitified. So instead of you can't get a direct flight anymore from. I guess they canceled a lot of their direct flights, and now they're canceling a lot of their one-stop flights.
I don't get
it. So now I got to take Delta, which they charge you for each and every seat. So $10 to $30 to pick your seat. I have a quintaire of a layover in Atlanta, barely made it, got off my flight, and had to get right in the ring. So we worked until midnight and then had to get back up at 4:30 to start working by 7 o'clock the next day. Yeah, it was insane. So it was like 3 days with no sleep, exhausted. It was like 50 girls or 50 matches, like 3 dressing rooms full of girls. It was yeah, it was a rough weekend. I came home and just slept the afternoons, slept the evenings, slept all night. Yeah, it
I'm
was
sure you
rough.
needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, good to see you're in one piece.
Yeah, I don't like
Just,
these tapings. I like the
uh,
girls. I don't like the tapings though. So not a fan.
Well,
Not a fan.
what else is going on with you?
No, thank you. So
Wow.
yeah, exactly. There's that. So and thank you. Yeah, it's like I hit the ground running when I came home. Found out about the storms. Trying to do something for my birthday, and there was that. And more Damon. Hey yo.
Did you get it all in?
No.
No.
No. Apparently, people sent me Amazon gift cards like I was hoping. Thank you.
Yay!
And I have not had a chance to go through my email and find them yet. So
Well, hopefully the storm will stay far enough away tomorrow, and you'll have time.
yeah, I hope so too. Is that sarcasm there? Yes, the new communications company in Lebanon is a TNT. It's a good one right there.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. And Bigwig saying they started using male names because some of the women started complaining, and it's always women being blamed for the damage.
Well, you know.
Well, right, exactly. So here's something you guys should know. Actually, a couple of things you should know. I watched the whole thing with Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. She's very sharp. If you don't follow her on social media, highly suggest it. So Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, and hello, Kenny P. So thank you. Appreciate it. And she has informed us that over the weekend, while everybody was distracted by P. Diddy, the United Nations has passed a Pact of the Future document, and which was originally the WHO pandemic treaty. So there are 2 parts. There was a science and tech, and then basically a youth and kids area. And this was a silent procedure pact. If there were no objections, it was adopted, which makes it a full-on pact by 193 nations who were willing to accept it now. And it's basically worse than the original version. Our nation in the United States also being one of them. And I know we have people from everywhere here. Canada's on there also. But America is doing nothing about it. Congress is doing nothing about this. So here are some of the things that you should know that are in this Pact of the Future document that our nation is gleefully accepting. So first is a fully digital. They want everything fully digital so they can control the masses. And like I said, whenever I tell you these things, I tell you things and you can run with them and go look up whatever you want to look up. So feel free to cross-reference anything I'm saying. They want everybody to have a digital ID. So you can be marked as a global citizen, not just a nationalized, but a global citizen.
If that's the case, I want perks for that.
Yeah. Any dissident will be labeled and memory cooled, fact-checked, and punished by a system that is monitored and enforced by AI. And the punishment includes being locked out of bank accounts, not allowed, no flights, no travel, and unable to make certain purchases, unable to drive on public roads. So these are in this pact that 193 countries have not pushed back against and have accepted.
Bullshit.
So
I can't wait to read it. I know I haven't had a chance to look up to it.
Yes. So what we can do, there are a couple things we can do, because I'm never. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Kenny P. Whole world's going to be like Minority Report's going to be like thought crimes. So there's still time to do something. I know I'm never going to give you a present some bullshit to you without saying, okay, well, this is, and just give it to you and let you be anxious over it. There are solutions. So the first thing you need to do is contact through tweets, emails, calls, whatever you do, contact your local governments, even your local at a city and state level governments, and tell them that you don't want anything to do with this United Nations Pact of the Future document, that you are not okay with it.
How do you find that, you think, online or?
Yeah, well, find out whoever your local governments are and start hitting them with it. So because they want to make their people kind of happy in order to get reelected, and reelections are coming up. This election, the reason why it's so important, you guys, is because every single seat is up for reelection, all of them. Mm-hmm. So this is why there's so much surrounding this election. It's not just a couple of things there. I mean, literally every seat is up for election. That's why the push is so hard. So yeah, and there's a lot of things that we've all pushed back against, like we did with the WHO pandemic treaty. We push back against that. So we can do it with this one too. So push back on that. Another thing you can do is learn the skills. So if you don't already have a plan and, shit goes awry, then you're not going to have time to get really good at something at that point. So have a plan on how to communicate with your friends and family if something happens. Here's a meeting place. If something happens and we don't get electric restored within a certain blah, 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 we're all meeting at grandma's house. We're all meeting at, such and such's place. Or have a way to communicate. We're gonna write, leave a spray paint something underneath of this, overpass and let you know I'm okay, and everybody check in. Anything, whatever. Have a way to communicate.
That sounds like a good idea, actually.
Yeah, it's so Gen X, right?
Yeah.
Leave a sign, so do something. So get good at some skills, learn some skills, and have some stuff set aside. So, so that you can be independent and get prepared. Keep your pantry packed up a little bit with some things,
make a list of your medicines and stick everything in one spot.
Yeah. Just in case. So yeah,
even
I know.
A hurricane.
Yeah, War Demon says, I'm so tired of these global overlords. Yeah, that's ridiculous, right? Nobody elected them. We don't want any of that. And Red Sunny, thank you. I did get a package from you. So my dogs and I are very, very grateful. Thank you. And I wrote you back. So I obviously didn't get that, but thank you very, very much. And Kenny says, I have all the skills, bow hunting skills, magic skills. That could come in handy. Drawing skills, knife skills. Gosh, vote for Pedro. Yeah.
Use cash. There's the other thing too.
Yeah, you can use cash as much as possible. I know we've mentioned this before, but the reason it's important to use cash is because shops and businesses are less likely to rush into taking digital payments if they're making a chunk of money from people paying cash.
Yeah, so there's fees on every bit of digital.
And there are fees on everything, but there's not with cash. Right. So, yeah. And Fury, what's up? Thank you very much, Yep, all caps. So, what's this? What's that? Canada Spaceman. Everyone's screaming that Trump voters need to get out, but they're not saying what's even more important. Who are the scrutineers? Will there be after midnight ballots again? Yeah, I think a lot of people are wondering that. The biggest thing a lot of people want to know is, are we actually going to have a fair election? It just doesn't feel like we are.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But all I'm going to say is, if you're doing mail-in, you're doing any of those things, make sure everything is done perfect on your ballot, no matter who you choose or what you do. Make sure it's sealed. Make sure everything's done properly.
Yeah. Make sure you sign. If you got to sign it, you sign it. Do the whole thing. So, CS says the fact that the United States still welcomes the United Nations and tells us everything we need to know about our Congress and our government.
Good point.
It's really weird. It's really weird. You have a really solid point there. This week, we found out that Kamala Harris was endorsed by the IRS. So first it was Dick Cheney, and then the IRS. So
Is that accurate, War Demon, about Linda Carter? Wow.
What happened?
He's saying, I heard something about Linda Carter. I didn't realize it was related to Harris. That she's endorsing Harris. Anyway, we shouldn't.
Well, a lot of celebrities do.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark Hamill, a lot of celebrities do. But you have to understand, I don't think this is an election where anybody's voting for anybody. I think they're voting against the other person.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's so much they're endorsing Kamala Harris as much as they are not liking Donald Trump. So
just
I mean,
do your research, everybody. Like she said, everybody's seats are up for election, so consider that.
And a lot of the celebrities, like they have a lot of money, so they can afford all of this. They can afford the inflation. They can afford the tax, tax hikes. They can afford gas. So they live in a different world than the average person does. So,
I disagree with you on that.
Kenny says if Trump wins, the psycho left will burn cities. If Kamala cheats and wins, we will still lose. I think that's what a lot of people are assuming. Fred says her sister, I guess Wonder Woman's sister, Linda Carter's sister, is running for office and is Republican, but she's stating that she isn't fit for office. Ooh, ouch, really?
Interesting. Here's something I saw today.
And she's endorsed the Democrats against her own sister. Yeah, that's what I don't like. See, that's another thing. That's what I don't like about this election and a lot of elections is they're turning family members against each other.
Right.
First we saw it with RFK's family. They turned against him and endorsed Biden. Now we see it with Waltz's family. Tim Waltz turned against him and endorsed Trump. Nobody's talking about that like they were talking with RFK, but Waltz's family turned against him and they're endorsing Trump. So it's like this whole family against family thing is ugly. And
did I tell you about the guy at work who knows him?
Mm-mm.
That he used to sleep on his couch and his family couch.
Oh, yeah. You have to tell me. Oh, by the way, Demon says Linda's doing it because she's a woman. And I hate to say this, but if you vote for somebody because they're female or black, that makes you a sexist and a racist. So
I saw a meme about that today that was actually spot on.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So Red Sonny's a fan. Yeah, he has to win for all of us. I'm still an RFK fan on all of this. I feel like he would have been the best option. So I feel like if we keep going the way we're going, we're not going to be able to afford anything.
I agree with that. Something's got to change.
Or go the course that we're on right now is not a good course. So, yeah. Do we stay on politics or you want to change? No, we can switch off. Yeah. So I'm reading your comments here so I don't pass them. And cool, awesome dude. Wait, hang on. This is my glow shirt too. Hey. So, thank you. Thank you for the wait, I'm running into my thing here. And who else? It's somebody's this is Red Sonny too. Thank you.
You might still get to see a bruise.
It's in there. I'm telling you, it's faded out a little bit. Where'd it go? Oh, it's over. I don't know. It's down there. It's down the middle. I got punched. There's a bruise in there somewhere. So I was like, how do I get a bruise in my boob? So yes, RFK is with Trump now. Or as I like to call it, the RFK Trump party. So I know. Yeah, like that dude is like he's 75 years old and he is in amazing shape. So amazing shape. Speaking of that, I wanted to talk about some of this. So we talked about how this WHO, the pandemic treaty is going to label anybody misinformation, disinformation, all that bullshit. And the biggest spreaders of that is our government. We know that by now. So and you're going to, okay, because it make it better. Okay. So
I'm reading the comments too.
But there's so many things that people are being told and that are just not true. So here's one you guys should know. Salt does not raise your blood pressure. a matter of fact, it actually lowers your blood pressure. So if you are having a blood pressure related issue, one of the first things that happens when you go into the hospital or you are in the ambulance is, what do? They give you a bag full of saline water. And then if it's really bad, like a stroke or something, they give you another bag full of saline water, thousands and thousands and thousands of milligrams of salt.
Right.
What does raise your blood pressure is dehydration and all the minerals you lose through dehydration, like potassium. So what retains those minerals that are so integral to our blood pressure is salt. So salt is not going to hurt your blood pressure. Go ahead and have it. So that's the first thing that a lot of people are not aware of. It's coming out more, through more independent studies. But quite honestly, I personally believe that there's such, like I said, a medical industrial complex that they will keep everybody sick and be fine with it because they make so much money. So here's another one.
Drink too much water too.
Huh?
You can drink too much water as well.
You can, but it's really hard to do that.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do that. I mean, in theory, yeah, you could do too much of anything, quite honestly, and end up, that person. But it's hard to drink too much water. Now, if you do drink too much water, you might be washing some of those minerals out of your system. So another reason why you need to have salt. So here's the thing. If you are cramping up, one of the things that the runners do is they drink some pickle juice, dill pickle juice, because there's so much salt in it. So it retains everything that you need to stop cramping. So
I didn't believe that, so I tried it one day.
It stops the cramps immediately.
It works.
Immediately. It stops cramps faster than anything. So also, if you're drinking at night, like you're drinking alcohol, have a few sips of that. Yeah, have a few sips of some dill pickle juice. It'll help you. So
absolutely.
Oh, you haven't had the kind of cramps we've had, Big Wig. If you have that, I mean, we have the screaming, can't stand up, fall on the floor. So yeah. Ouch. And Michael says you sweat it all out in Florida. You do. You really do.
Oh,
so
yeah.
And thank you. Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Kenny.
Yeah. Do we take supplements? I take, definitely fish food sprinkled on my meals. No, I take so many supplements I wouldn't even be able to explain it all.
You take way more than I do.
Yeah, I take so many supplements 3 times a day. So I've been taking supplements for my entire life, pretty much.
But you're not being supported by Big Pharma.
No, and I also have a couple different autoimmune issues that I was born with. So I'm trying to raise my own immune system naturally. So I've had more than my fair share of Big Pharma medications that were approved and safe and effective, recalled for all kinds of issues. And so I've been through the ringer. I speak from experience with all of that. So here's another one. Statins. Stay away from statins if you can. So they have lowered the number of what is healthy for cholesterol, so that everybody seems like they have high cholesterol. So if you look at what was healthy for cholesterol a few decades ago versus what's considered healthy now, they're going to it pushes everybody kind of into a higher category for the most part, or most people. Here's the thing, and then they can give you statins. If you've noticed, we also have more Alzheimer's and dementia than ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's connected. So low-fat diets and statins, which change the fat in your system, they basically, there's a lot to this, and I'm going to get some of it wrong, but the fat is needed for your brain to be healthy. And the more fat, the better. So the statins affect the blood-brain barrier. And eventually, after some time, it causes a lot of problems. And again, this is something you should go and research. And research, go a few layers deep, and make sure whenever you look at studies, you look at studies globally, translate the papers, find out who is sponsoring those studies, and then see who the parent company is of whoever is sponsoring the studies. Because you have to go 5, 6, 7 layers deep now. But statins are 100% linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. So pay attention to that. The more fat you eat, the healthier your memory and your, instant recall and all of that will be as you get older. So,
Bacon.
Yeah, eat your bacon, eat your
bacon.
steak, have your walnuts. So, and Notary, what's up?
Hello.
Hi, hello. So yeah, eat that. So
Eat
eat
meat.
that. Stay away from the statins. So eat your salt. It will not affect your blood pressure. So there's that. I just wanted to cover that because again, they give us such terrible information regarding health in this country.
Everything's bad for you.
And they just want to put drugs. They never want to address the actual what's going on. They never want to, anything. So CS Almanac says, same thing goes for blood pressure. When I was in college, 140/90 and below was considered good. Now, if you aren't 120/80 or below, they say high blood pressure. Yes, right. They have changed. They've moved the needle with a lot of stuff because there is a financial motivation to do so. They want to get everybody on medication. So, and when you take enough medication, you start having side effects of the medication, which is actually your body breaking down and saying you're allergic to this medication. So
then you need more medication.
Then you need more medication to handle the side effects. Yeah.
So hence supplements and try to stay healthy. I'm the healthiest I think I've ever been after some of the things you've taught me. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying to teach everybody. What's up, Steve? We love you and thank you. Kenny says you don't have to tell me to eat any of this steak as my main meal. Bacon, though, you have to cut down the price because it's beyond ridiculous. Again, it is, right? It really
shop around. You'll find it. Aldi is actually still a good price on it.
Yeah, Aldi has good prices on their meats. And most of them are grass fed. I don't know if they're grass finished, but they're grass fed. Yep. So so we have that. And while we're still on health, we'll cover the monkeypox vaccine or the Mpox. You want to tell your story, and then I'll go to. We'll go to. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I didn't know this was true until I checked into it a little bit. But apparently, and I'm sure there's some people here that's up north on here, that in New York, people were talking about that they might start shutting schools down because of outbreaks of Mpox. Now, you're talking kids. This wasn't allegedly
to be a gay disease, literally.
Right.
Okay.
So I started looking into it. Sure enough, they're having outbreaks of this up in those areas for whatever reason. I was like, that makes no sense. Okay, New Jersey, it might be happening there too. And so when I looked into it, come to find out, then Dr. McAuliffe came out explaining that there is studies and what has been, this is genetically modified version of monkeypox. Hence the name change, vaccines, all these things. So now, mysteriously, it's traveling human to human without contact. So I call bullshit.
I don't know. I'm looking at it here. So, yeah. And hey, there's some good comments here. Big Pharma's not getting me. No medications, no jab. Fight the power. And War Demon says, I saw this somewhere. Lawyers hope you get sued and doctors hope you get sick. Yeah, makes sense. So this is what I saw the other day. Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
So FDA approves vaccine for Mpox, warns that it may cause death in the vaccinated and people they come in contact with. So let me read this to you.
What kind of contact, first of all? Is it like a cold going through? Or
I don't know. How do you approve this with the FDA?
Yeah.
Of course, we know. Yeah. Only in America do we normalize food and drug administration.
Yeah.
So, all right. So a vaccine approved last month by the fucking FDA for Mpox comes with a list of serious complications, including myocarditis, death, and fetal death. The FDA's medication guide also warns that people who receive the vaccine may spread it to the unvaccinated people who also risk developing vaccine side effects, including death. Wait, what? Oh my God. How do you approve something like that?
Well, I mean, okay. So look at the disclaimers that are all over a TV commercial. But this is ridiculous.
This is straight
no
up
trials,
like
nothing.
people can kill you just by. Oh, here we are. So yeah, here's the point right here. I'm getting a warning right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you spread disinformation?
Yeah, as the news doesn't cover. There's another alert: mandatory evacuations.
Yeah.
Ugh, God.
I think I'm going to be off tomorrow. Actually.
Yeah, they've shut the schools down already, all the way through the rest of the week.
Working.
Yeah. So
my job is emergency services. So basically,
all the schools here in my area are closed. In Pasco area, they're closed. All the appointments are closed. My gym is closed. They closed at noon today. But of course, the news would tell you that Florida's not getting hit.
We're getting a storm surge up in my area it was this morning like 5 to 8 feet. Now it's 10 to 12. So we're going to be underwater. And I don't know if you saw that thing that I sent you. The guy from the Weather Channel was local yesterday here, and he was streaming live from Hudson up here yesterday. So there's pictures of him shooting all over the place from being in Newport Richey.
Wow.
On his way to the Panhandle.
Yeah, we notice they don't give a fuck. Just one less person they have to care for. Yeah,
no shit.
It's just if you honestly, if you look around and look at a bigger picture, best case scenario, the government doesn't give a fuck if you live or die. Worst case scenario, they are perpetuating genocide and are so okay with you dying. It's not even funny.
Right?
So,
they get paid when you die anyway.
Yeah, I know sometimes. So they do. It's weird. You got to pay taxes when you're working. You got to pay taxes on a house that you already bought over and over again every single year. You got to pay taxes on everything you purchase. And then in most states, you got to pay taxes when you die. So yeah, they do make money when you die.
Yep. And depending on what you die from, they say, don't forget, other people get paid.
Yes, that's true.
You get a kickback.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And it doesn't pay for your funeral, though. I'm sorry. It just pays for Big Pharma.
So govern me harder, Daddy.
Yeah. At least give me lube.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me.
Exactly. So that's why I say I don't understand how anybody could be behind big government when it's so obvious. Yeah, thank you, Kenny P. Michael Jackson said it best. All I want to say is they don't really care. They don't care about us. And he was talking about other races, but it works with this too. I thought the original meaning for that was that he was talking about everybody around him and all the government is they don't care about us. Because I saw that come out. But in Canada Spaceman, I have a friend, he says he switched to turkey bacon and it's almost like pig. I have a friend that switched to duck bacon and he said it's unbelievably good. So if you're not willing to eat pork or it's just not your thing, yeah. And here's the reason, I'll tell you why. Somebody posted, and I'm not sure. Yes, here it is. Okay. Somebody said, if you want to be healthy, don't eat pork. So there's a reason that it's called unclean in the Bible, and people who are Muslim and Jewish don't go near it. And this is it right here. Watch the video where the Coca-Cola is poured on pork, pig meat, and worms and parasites crawl out, and they stay in your gut. So here's the issue. And we talked about this last episode when we talked about the theory of parasites causing all kinds of issues. So go back and watch last week's episodes. But the parasites in pork are cystic. So they don't get cooked out. They don't get frozen out. And they only hatch once you've already eaten it. So there is a belief that a lot of the illnesses we deal with, including some cancers, that they are caused by parasites. And that the doctors are addressing the wrong thing on purpose to make money, but they know that a lot of our issues are parasitical. So we give our dogs and cats a monthly worming medication. We give our farm animals, we worm our farm animals. We're outside and we're eating a lot of the same things. We're walking barefoot. We're sleeping with our pets. Why aren't we given a parasite medication every so often as well?
Ivermectin? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And ivermectin's Nobel Prize winning.
There you go,
So
Steve.
ironically enough, ivermectin also has been linked to curing cancer, not just one cancer, across the board cancers. And like I mentioned last week, go to nih.gov, go to their own website and type in ivermectin and cancer, and you'll have to sit down. When you see how many peer-reviewed medical papers come back, breast cancer, ovary cancer, testicular cancer, brain cancer, lung cancer, it's shrinking tumors and curing cancer. I think that's the real reason they wanted us not to have it during COVID. And like they fought harder to keep us away from ivermectin than they've done it like for fentanyl.
In other countries, they use ivermectin as normal practice, normally before COVID. It's just something they do. And there's a couple countries in Africa that do that. But in those same areas where they give ivermectin regularly, they do not have cancer issues. They do not have a lot of diseases that we have. So it does make you wonder.
Well, here's something else to wonder about. They've tried to pin colon cancer and colon issues on red meat for years now, right? Forever. Yeah. Which if you overcook red meat, there is an enzyme that is released that causes problems. So eat your red meat on rare and medium rare. Don't well done your meat. But no, when you look at India, and you can look at the studies, India is between 50 and 80% vegetarian. They do not eat red meat there, but they have just as much colon cancer and colon issues as the West does.
Wow.
And they don't eat the red meat. So
wow. Okay.
I know. So there's something to chew on. So there you go. Shitty pun intended. So yeah, you have to eat your meat rare or medium rare. If you eat it, if you kill it twice, it's not good for you.
No, that's red meat though. Pork is a different story.
Yeah. Don't eat your chicken or your pork that way.
Right.
So yeah.
So
here's why that's safe.
When
a cow is a ruminant. So a cow goes through a lot of digestion with 4 different stomachs. Same with sheep. So if you have rack of lamb, ruminants you can eat very bloody rare and even raw, like a sukiyaki or that type of thing. Chickens and duck and pork and all that, they're not ruminants. Everything they eat is directly digested into their bodies, so they don't go through the multiple digestion. So they're not filtering everything out like a ruminant animal is. This is why steak is better for you than a lot of the other stuff. Yeah, don't eat medium well steak. If you can switch at least to medium and then gradually get to like medium rare, it's a lot better for you. So
tastes good.
Just try to get it a little bit less, because you don't want that. Yeah. Yes. So so there you go. I don't think, Canada Spaceman says, I learned we should take the skin off a chicken before baking. I think that's sacrilege. I don't think you should ever do that. Yeah, the skin keeps it moist. And exactly. As bigwigs, the skin's the best part. So you got to get crispy skin.
Yeah.
So what else do we want to cover on that one? Oh my God. Okay. Border Patrol. Holy shit. Did you guys watch that in court this week?
I didn't, but I did see that they had a blackout on media. I actually just read that one before the show started.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of I watched it. I watched it twice. It's on my Twitter. I retweeted the shit out of it. Elon Musk did as well. So if you go to Twitter, April Hunter, and you scroll down like a bajillion freaking everything, you'll find it. But so I'm not going to do it verbatim, but So there was court this week and or testified in Senate that the Border Patrol was asked to lie to everyone by the current administration about what was happening at the border and about how many dangerous people were coming across and about how they were being not vetted. So, and about the persons of interest and all of that. So they have been told to lie repeatedly about all of it. So under oath, he has explained all of this. So the Biden administration said you must lie about all of this. And then I saw another expose where a woman went up to New York, and she was, it is treason. It's absolutely treason. And I can't believe more people are not talking about this. That a lot of the immigrants are here until November 15th. That's some of their exit dates. Why November 15th?
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. They have a hotel full of immigrants in New York, and their exit date, that's November 15th. So now the skin's not, and by the way, the skin is not unhealthy. Again, it's fat. Fat is good for you. So.
Oh, did you see that somebody's exposing what? Yeah.
Red Sunny. It says carnivore for life. Jameer says carnivore for life, baby. Hell yeah.
Go for it.
Yep. So, and CS Almanac says 20 years ago, the administration doing that would be on the 24 hours news cycle for weeks. Now the media act as propaganda for the politicians. 100%.
Well, there's a distraction right now with Israel. So this week.
And P. Diddy.
Yes. Good one. Yeah. Got to buy that lube.
Yeah. Somebody has to buy that baby oil.
Yeah.
So, what were you saying? I'm sorry. Before I cut you off, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Oh no. This is better. Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh no, Alan, you said it before I did. Got to vote before they go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why it's frightening. It just seems like there's not gonna be a fair election, and it just seems so underhanded and dirty. Like, just have a fair election. That's all. Just have whoever wins fairly. I think everybody will concede and go, okay, they won fairly. But there's already been so many dirty tactics.
Yes.
Just be straight up and fair.
All right.
So, yeah. Israel and PTB are hell-bent on truly starting World War III.
I have so many comments, and I'm not, extremely educated on overseas issues. One thing I do know is I don't want war. So that's all I'm going to say.
I don't think anybody wants war except for bankers and politicians.
Right.
So I really don't. The people don't want war, right?
Right.
It's, I mean, at least most people who are thinking people.
Right.
We don't want to see the draft initiated again and everybody's kids in there. And believe me, I think if we keep this administration in, they're going to implement that draft for the daughters as well, because they're all about, across the board, it's DEI, all that stuff. So they're going to be shipping the women out too. So, exactly. No more war. Thank you, Red Sunny. This is crazy.
You're correct, Canada.
Yeah.
I am America first. Absolutely.
Yeah. So here's something. I was watching the Ryan Ruth an interview with, you're right. You guys said he was batshit crazy. You couldn't be more accurate. So I watched his interview on how he said that he wanted to organize a whole faction for Ukraine, and that he was trying to get his own people down over there, and he would die for Ukraine. And I'm just like, what?
Wow.
And then he said that he was in Kyiv.
I'm sorry. How was that?
He said he was in Kyiv.
Oh.
So some of you know, some of you don't know. I was married to a Ukrainian. His family came from Kiev. So, and since the Russian-Ukrainian thing, they've actually changed Kiev to a less Russian influence, so it's Kyiv. Mm-hmm. So when Ryan Ruth said in this interview, he's going back and forth to Kyiv, I had this moment, like this Quentin Tarantino moment, where the guy, puts up the hand and goes 3, and it was supposed to be German, and they're like, if you were really German, this is how you would do it. I had this moment like, if you were really in the Ukraine and you're spending as much time over there as you said, you would never have called it Kyiv. Like, no Ukrainian calls it Kiev.
That's major.
It's Kiev. It's Kiev. So I was like, he's not who he says he is. And he did not spend time there like
Apparently
he
not.
says, like he claimed. So, and I posted that too. I'm like, no. No. So yeah, I was just like, yeah, that guy's he's something. Yes, I was married. So
were they talking to you? Or I didn't know.
Yes.
Okay.
We didn't have so many Canada Spaceman says we didn't have so many goddamn traders in Kanakistan, I'd still be a Canada #1. Well, yeah, Canada was amazing, and then something happened. So yeah, it's crazy. And hello, Maurizio.
Where are you at now, Canada Spaceman? Is he still in Canada?
Yeah, we'll find out. And Alex says, look to me like this country could lose regardless of who wins the election. I think you're exactly right. So when you go to war and when you're in inflation and when you're dealing with open borders, nobody's winning. We're not. And I think that's why it's so important to be aware of some of these things going on and be aware of the misinformation that they claim that we're putting out that they're actually perpetuating. So you know that you know what's really happening. So you can push back. It's never been more important than now to push back, stand up, speak out, and say, this is bullshit, and we're not going to play along. So this is not what we want. So we, the people, do not want this. So yeah, and Alan says Trudeau is a Marxist. That's actually insulting Marxists. So yeah. And we're demon, you don't have to be quiet.
Yeah, what's up with that? Yeah.
And he says, Eva, do you have some Polish in you? Would you like some? Yes, I'm a South Ontario, Hamilton area. And Maurizio says, you're the best and phenomenal voice and congratulations style. Ah, molto grazie.
Nice.
So on a different note, before we go off of I want to say conspiracy theories because I just love conspiracy theories, but they're not really conspiracy theories, they're truth. And thank you, Red Sunny. Just gonna have faith and hope. You know what? Let's touch on that after this. I wanted to tell you guys a story about something that happened with Amazon, but let's touch on that. Jameer says we gotta have faith and hope, and you know what? I think we do. So I think you're right. I think there's a point where we have to, and this helps too. If you study a lot of history, you will see that in history, things have been real bad at lots of different times, and we've all made it through. So no matter how bad it gets, and a lot of times it's because the people pushed back and they stood up too, but no matter what happened, generally, and not all history is correct, but what happened to people is correct. So, somebody writes that history and it's not always accurate, but the results of it are accurate. So no matter what has happened, we've still ended up more or less okay. So we kind of have to know that, through all the beheadings and the dark ages and the, the kings and the queens and the this and the that and the tsunamis wiping out entire cities and civilizations and the Romans coming for your firstborn sons and all of that. We've still managed to, Monty Python, always look on the bright side of life. And you're a witch. And, 6,000 mostly women and men, burned and hung at the stake. And, war demon, gas camps and things. So through these things, although it did not turn out good for everybody, obviously, overall, we've still gotten to here. So we have to have faith that things will be okay. So
good energy.
Yes.
You said that to me earlier.
Yes.
That
it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah.
It is but a scratch. It's
a lot of people are asking about your fridge.
Oh my fridge. Oh my fucking God. So yeah, yesterday was my birthday, and I spent the day prepping for the storm. And then when I went out to grab a bottle of water and check on the water, I found out that my fridge wasn't working either, and neither was my freezer. So the first half of my freezer, I was touching the meat, and the meat's defrosted. I'm like, oh fuck, because it was full. My fridge is packed full, and it's mostly all grass-fed meat. Like Aldi will have a sale, and I'll just go over and be like, $3, and I'll just grab as much as possible and shove it in the freezer. All of that was dying on me. So I was freaking out, and of course things are closing because it's a storm, and nobody is delivering our refrigerator before Friday. So I ended up going to a place, and for $212, I bought a deep freezer, which I filled to the rim. That will hold me over. I still have to buy a refrigerator, but for right now, and I've got a dorm fridge in my spare room, and I've got some things in that, and that's where I'm at right now. So yeah, no, I do not make it easy. I was flipping out. You have no idea. I was flipping out, but as I'm recalling it now, yeah. So there we go. Yeah. So here is an interesting story, keeping in our holy shit, this is crazy realm of news, right?
Yep.
So an Amazon driver, it was a driver, right? An Amazon driver, because you know the cars are getting smart cars and stuff like that, said, have a nice day. It was either, I'm not looking at the direct store, said, have a nice day. He was misheard. He was, I don't know if the car misheard him, like the Alexa on the car or something. So he was reported as having said a racist slur, and his smart home locked him out of his house for, I think it was close to a week, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So the car misunderstood what he said, thought it was a racist slur, and locked him out of his house.
Another reason why I don't like this crap in your houses. I understand the convenience. Hey, Alexis, whatever, all that stuff. But
what are we trading for convenience, though?
Fuck that.
I mean, what are we really trading for convenience?
You
know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Oh,
so here's
my
something.
God.
Drivers at a lot of companies, they have cameras up in the corner. Those cameras watch everything they do in the cab.
Wait,
so
small price to pay for having a smart home, am I right?
Yeah. Hey, turn my electric down.
Yeah. Anyway, the cameras, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that they watch everything. And our cousin Dave, who drives truck, he's got one of those cameras, and he's been dinged and fined for trying to eat or drink water. We're in Florida. You have to drink water.
You can't drink water while you're driving?
Nope. You get dinged for that.
Oh my God, are you serious?
If you say something, let's say somebody cut you off in the truck and you're like, fuck, but you didn't say it out loud and you didn't say it to them and you didn't flick them off, you can lose your job. And a lot of these
God, are you
companies are doing that.
serious?
Walmart, Amazon, they all do that on the big companies. So.
Oh my God. So my uncle is a race car driver, and he works on Porsches and BMWs, and he moved down here. Bruce. He moved down here and lives out where the strawberry stuff is. Where's that? The strawberry area?
Plant City.
Plant City, yes. So he's just like, no, I've always said that the Florida drivers are the worst, right? So, but he thought I was nuts. Or everybody thinks I'm nuts. He's like, these are the worst drivers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And this is a professional race car driver saying this. So he's seen drivers everywhere in every country, from Autobahn to Japan. And I'm like, I fucking told you so. Floridian, yes.
Do you use your horn a lot? Oh, I'm sorry. Your car horn?
Do I?
Yeah.
I do. And I use everybody else's horn. I'm a side seat driver asshole where I'll just I reach over. I'm like,
oh my God. Yes. For all those times that she does these live things when we're going to a show, or these clips, and she's sitting in the passenger seat of my car, as soon as you're done and somebody cuts off, she punches my horn at people if I'm not fast enough to whip her hand off.
Yeah, one time she punched me in the like she was. We had a double punch going on. It was such bad timing. So I go over to punch the horn because somebody's cutting us off. At the same time, she goes to slam her hand down and punch the horn. She ended up slamming her hand on top of mine. I was like,
my car,
that
my
hurt.
horn. I was
Yeah, I
hitting the
know.
horn for the same reason you wanted to hit my horn.
I know. And then we have Ty. One of our friends, Ty, is from like Northern California. He's so chill, right? And then he comes in the house. He was so mad. He's so riled up and so mad. I'm like, what happened? He's like, somebody beeped their horn at me while I was driving.
Excuse me.
I was like, God, imagine somebody doing that.
Oh, no, not at all.
Gosh, so rude.
Might be some of those, Philly people that live in Florida.
Right. And Ty, God love him. He's that guy that drives the speed limit or like 5 miles under in the left lane.
Wasn't he on here like
yes,
a month ago?
Steve, right? He drives like so slow in the left lane. He's just like la, 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 la.
He's driving that VW Bug, you would think, right, Steve? Yeah.
And it's
doesn't
like,
go over 40.
I'm like, Ty, it's illegal to be in the left lane going the speed limit. This is the in all 50 states, this is the fast lane, the passing lane, right? If you force people to go right around you, you're putting an extra blind spot on them where people are merging and turning. It's super dangerous. He's like, oh, just keep going.
I cannot stand that. That's one of the things that irks me.
Yeah.
Things would flow so much better if people would learn to stay the
fuck out of I think that's the number one reason why Florida is so bad is because we have so many different drivers from everywhere, every country, everywhere, every state. And for some reason, like a significant portion of them drive fucking slow in the left lane. Like super slow, and they force people to go around them on the right side where people are merging in and getting off and blind. It's like such a thing. Don't
I told you about
drive
that guy
in the left lane. Stay out of the left lane unless you're turning left. When you're turning left, about a mile out, half a mile out, then get in the left lane. But if your turn is 5 miles out, do not get in the left lane.
Yeah, right. And the old guy kind of spaceman. I'm just going to tell you this from about a month ago. I was driving up a road. 55 miles an hour used to be. Now it's 45. So anyway, this guy was still coasting in the left lane. I was being nice. I wasn't honking. No fingers, whatever. I go around on the right side to go around him. And he starts flashing the speed limit at me, honking and yelling at me.
Oh, because he's a control freak and he feels like he has to tell everybody else how fast they can go.
Yeah. And he was riding the left lane, blocking all the traffic up.
Yep.
And so
I love those people too. They're like, I'm going 45, so you all have to go 45 too. I was like, how do you know I'm not in labor? I have my friend Jamie was in labor and she could not get through the tunnel in New York she literally started having the baby in the back of the car because people would not get out of the way. Yeah.
That's just rude.
No drugs, no nothing. It's
ouch. So did she make it to the hospital? Now I have to ask that.
Barely. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So how do you know somebody's not in labor? How do you know they don't have a dog who's been, licked one of those poison toads and has to get to the vet? It's not like none of your business why somebody wants to drive fast. It's their ticket money, not yours. So fuck off and move over.
Right on. Oh my goodness. Anyway, all right. What else we got? What was on your list? Oh, first, hurricane drink. You haven't been drinking. Hurricane party time.
Cheers here.
So,
do you like bean enchiladas? Getting caught in the rain.
If everybody doesn't know about Florida, hurricane parties are a real thing.
Yes. So this is all called do you know when you misheard lyrics? Do you know they're called mondograms?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is useless information you can wow your friends with.
Wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead and sing that again. What was that? Pina colada?
Do you like bean enchiladas? Getting caught in the rain. Or hold me closer, Tony Danza.
Oh, gosh, I remember that one.
You might as well face it. It's my dick that you love.
Excuse me. Sorry about the coughing. Oh my God, that's so accurate.
Wrapped up like a douche, another winter in the night.
Oh, that's one of my favorite ones.
That's the most famous one right there. Yeah.
Like
what's the other one? There's like an AC/DC one too.
The one with feeding the kids.
Dirty deeds done with sheep.
And what is the real lyrics? Done dirt cheap, something?
Done dirt cheap. Yeah, dirty deeds are no longer done dirt cheap with inflation.
What's the one with the kids? Feed the kids. It's actually, everybody always said beat the kids.
I like that one better.
I do too, but you know, who am I?
Oh, the bathroom's on the right. What's that? What is that one?
What?
The bathroom's on the right.
I don't know that one. Wrapped like a douche.
Wrapped up like a douche.
A douche in the night.
Winter in the night. Yeah, I think that one's. Oh, here's one.
Oh,
Might as
yeah.
well face it, you're addicted to spuds.
Yep. Bad Moon on the Rise. Yeah, there's another one.
So,
anyway, sorry.
doesn't matter as long as you're singing it loud, right?
Yep, loud and proud. Mm-hmm.
So we started watching this show on Prime, and this bitch she's like, hey, if you finish your show, which I was watching, what was it? What's that? The witches show?
Discovery of Witches,
which is actually really, really good. It's very, very enjoyable, especially this time of year. But 3 seasons, knocked it out. She's like, if you're finished your show, you should check out From, which is the dumbest title ever, FROM. So I look it up, and like a million people are like, oh my God, this is so good. This is worth sleep deprivation. I can't stop watching this. Why are more people not talking about this? This is so well done. And I'm like, okay, sounds good to me. Start watching it. First episode, I get hooked. And there's a little note at the thing. This is leaving Prime in 7 days. I'm like, why would you do that to me? There's 10 episodes. What's wrong with you?
There's 10 episodes, and it's only season 1. So if you finish season 1, you're fine. So you better get on it.
Anyway, if you guys have,
it's a good show,
10 episodes worth of time in the next 6-ish days, highly recommend watching it. It's perfect for this time of year, and it's just a really well done show. It is.
It's impressive.
It is like a psychological thriller kind of.
It mixes in a lot of today's topics too.
Yeah. It's interesting. It keeps showing you. It's like, oh shit. It's a little bit of horror, a little bit of psychology, a little bit of everything.
And it is actually by the creators of Lost.
Lost. The people from Lost did it.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it. Lori says, hi, Lori. The books are a whole lot better for Discovery of Witches. I knew it because when it wrapped it up, I've been sitting here asking her. I'm like, they didn't cover this. They didn't cover this. I feel like the book would have been better for this.
Lori, I'm reading season 1 book right now.
Yeah.
That's so. But I put it down to read the other book. What was the other book that you have there?
Oh, the Witch Queen and the Weaver and the Witch Queen, which is really good. Yeah. And Kenny P says that dude's a great actor. He's also on Oz and Lost. So yeah, it's a good show. Definitely recommend it. So I guess I'm gonna have to borrow the books when she's done. And Alex says, speaking of Prime Video, RoboCop, the TV series, is being revived there.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Another really good book is if you guys are looking for something where they research the history, that it's so much amazing history that you actually like. I've taken courses in Viking history and in runes, and the Weaver and the Witch Queen has so much Viking history in there and Wiccan history. And I've taken some Wiccan classes. I just love any kind of religious history and all that. I've taken so much history classes, and I actually learned things I didn't know through this book. So if you like a lot of ancient history and a lot of spiritual history from across the board, you would love the Weaver and the Witch Queen. So it's really good. Viking era stuff.
Starting off really good. It is starting off really good. Thank you.
Yeah. So there's that. And if you have anything else that you think is worth mentioning as far as really good shows,
just that movie wise, Beetlejuice, the remake of that.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was actually really good.
I thought there's actually a really good lesson there too for the younger people.
And what's that?
Not everything is as it seems. So even if as it seems is handsome and sweet.
Oh,
yeah. So
That's true. There was a couple things. What was it? Oh,
before I forget, we are moving to Tuesday
Mhm.
nights, you guys, same time. So this is our last Wednesday show. We will be starting again next Tuesday night, same place, same time. And I was saying in the beginning that we are on a major storm watch here. The news is not reporting it, but we are on an evacuation for Zone A and all the trailer parks and all that. It's full on. We've got storm surge warnings and everything. So we didn't know if we could even do this show tonight. We're like, hopefully it holds out. So
go ahead.
fingers crossed. But yesterday was my birthday, and I have been hanging out at the sandbag station and store prepping my house. And I did get to write to people and say thank you for anything that showed up at the house, but I didn't get to my email. So if there's anything in my email, I am deeply grateful, and I will go through that as soon as I can. Thank you, 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 thank you. So a couple of people have said they sent Amazon gift cards, which I am super stoked about, especially since my refrigerator broke. So I might be seeing if I could put some of that towards a refrigerator. So that happened yesterday too. So
wow, I'm really
yeah,
sorry to hear that too. I hope you'll be able to save your food.
Yeah, it was a weird, terrible birthday. So,
Well,
you
know what?
Part of it was so.
Send some positivity her way, so this way the storm stays away.
Yeah, it says
away.
Longboat Key is mandatory evacuation. A lot of stuff is. Yeah. So we have Zone A, C out here. So I'm in C. Zone A was evacuated earlier. Yeah. So everybody has to be out by 8 tomorrow morning, which I think is still late. So
I think so too. Well, I know at 4:00 up here they started sending the buses to the shelters.
Yeah, all our schools are closed for the rest of the week. All of appointments, doctor's appointments, all the surgeries, everything, which they're all closed. So it's like summer's our winter. So in Florida, get the snowstorms and all that stuff. We have that. Oh
yes, row your boat.
Yeah. Winona says, I think people make the mistake of studying religious history with preconceived notions versus going in with an open mind. If you approach it with an open mind, you're more willing to see it for what it is and gain a far better understanding. I 100% agree with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it was later in life before I actually started reading and understanding various religions. I was so anti-religion when I was growing up that I never realized how much history and how much cool things there is in all the different religions. I'm so glad I started looking into it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's tons of them. And almost all the pagan religions, which got such a negative connotation, oh, you're pagan. But most of them are rooted in, Mother Nature. Yeah, most of them were nature religions.
Wow.
So,
that's where I hover.
So, I was very surprised to see. It's like, how is this a bad thing when you start really studying it and reading about it? Well, granted, there were some human sacrifices here and there, so
there still is.
Sometimes maybe those people were asking for it. I don't know. Anyway,
possible. Hey, what about YouTube? You said something about YouTube. What's going on?
Yes, excuse me. I'm sorry. Still not 100%. Yeah, a couple of other things you guys should know about. And we didn't talk about the Lebanon thing. YouTube, and yes, Christianity stole a lot from paganism. Yeah, including Christmas. So that was always winter solstice, and they renamed it Christ's Mass. So so Roman Empire should come back. Yeah, and just collect everybody's firstborn son. Why not? So definitely. They were untouchable, right, for a long time. Even Rome fell, and I feel like that's what's happening with America. We are the Rome that is falling now. We are imploding from within.
Unfortunately,
it was planned that way. We had the running water. We have the running water and the whole thing the great plumbing, and we're just imploding from within. But yeah.
Right.
The YouTube has decided to switch over to TV. So
they already had TV. What's different now? They already had TV. What's different now?
They're going to full on TV. So they want to switch over like almost like an Apple TV type of thing. So it's the new people who are the new whatever is running it. This is their idea. And one of my people, sent me one of the videos on what was going on. And I wonder if this is going to basically destroy small creators and small podcasts and, smaller shows, because I think there's a possibility they might want to go to like full production. Like if you don't have a full on production situation and you're not TV quality of a show, they want to break everything into seasons. So they want to have, this season and that season. So they want to go into a full, TV schedule. And
Interesting.
yeah, as one of the people it is. And one of the people on the video was saying that they feel like this is not what people want, because if they wanted to watch full seasons of TV, they already can. So one of the appeals with YouTube is watching smaller shows and smaller creators, and how do you do it? And this is how you fix things, and this is how you sew costumes, and this is how you make this, this is how you make crepes, and this is a podcast about Kabbalah, and this is what people are drawn to for these things. And I 100% think that these massive corporations are just moving in such a constant direction of pushing all the small businesses out, pushing all the small creators out, going full on corporate, going to full automation, full AI, and just basically doing a massive takeover to where it's just difficult. So it just seems to be going that way more and more and more. And I hope I'm wrong. Well, and also full censorship too. Yeah. So, like small bands, they get their music on there. They get their small music videos on there. Like, okay, here's an example. Back when we were, let me think what year, just, 20 years ago. Think about this, like Clerks. Everybody is Clerks, right? And Chasing Amy and Bill and Silent Bob. So, Bill and Ted, Silent Bob, all of that. These movies would never make it today. They're iconic.
Right.
Iconic. But, Vegas, baby, Vegas. 3 days, baby, 3 days. You got to give them 3 days. Like this stuff would never make it today because it was a low budget black and white movie that two dudes did, or, Clerks. So Dogma, exactly. Well, Dogma is actually higher quality than the other ones that they did. So you have these small bands, you have small films, you have short films, you have all these things that were able to make it using the digital, I guess, abilities that we had. You also had the companies willing to take a chance too with creators. And now, even wrestlers too, we were able to go out and work and put our stuff out there. And it's just moving to more and more and more of a corporation takeover. But beforehand, you could really actually do something and have it get behind you, and then do like a funded project, a GoFundMe or a Indiegogo and things like that. And get going. And I wonder if that's going to be ever a thing again.
I would hope that some other platform takes it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I hope it's not TikTok too. And CS says the original Halloween from 1978 comes to mind. Exactly. So
wow.
Yeah. I mean, these, yeah. And Chasing Amy is the best Kevin Smith movie. Love Mallrats too. Fly, fat ass, fly. Yeah, exactly. A lot of this stuff, so as I'm frustrated. So I'm just going, so you should drink every time I say so. You would be drunk.
Go. Okay. Drink. It's a hurricane drink anyway. Just drink.
Right. So it's just frustrating. Because as a creator, as somebody who's older and lived through multiple decades here now, I see how it's going. And I don't mean to sound like a crotchety old lady or anything, but I'm just like, I don't like this. We had some real opportunities to showcase like real talent, not, just TikTok conspiracy theories or Instagram models that have butt lifts. I mean, like real talent, real filmmakers. There was a movie a couple of years ago that was it Al Pacino?
Which movie?
I want to say it's an Al Pacino movie that they put on Netflix. They released it on Netflix because they couldn't get it in a theater.
There's been a couple. What
was that movie, you guys? That was put on Netflix, and it actually won an award. But here's the thing: it was like a gangster movie a couple of years ago. It was big names, like big names. But here's the thing: like half of the budgeting for a film now is marketing. So if you're not going to have a return, where yes, The Irishman. Thank you, Kenny P. Thank you. So The Irishman was taken, and some of these big name directors are having a hard time getting into theaters now. So if you're not going to have, dolls and, 7-Eleven drinks and all these things that they can market, after the thing, like all the Marvel movies do. If you're going to have, dog pool costume, if you're not going to have all these things, they don't want to take a risk and put you out there.
I think if I found it correctly, it's The Irishman.
Yeah, that's what Kenny said. The
2019.
Irishman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Exactly. Get my lawn.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kenny said that. The Irishman. So thank you both. So, and hi Isman. Hola. So yeah, and a lot of people are saying like wrestling, these small wrestling shows too. Yeah, Irishman was released on Netflix, not in theaters.
Wow.
So
my phone's lighting up. Is yours? I'm getting all kinds of emergency alerts.
Huh? Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Time is running out to get to higher ground ahead of the hurricane.
Let's see it.
That's what it says on emergency alert from Pasco.
Oh, good gosh. Yeah. So anyway, that was just, and again, since we have more people here right now, I'll mention this is our last Wednesday night show. We are switching to Tuesday, same time, same place, just Tuesday night. Mostly because I just want to say, see you next Tuesday. But no, really, it's actually easier for people to get on here on Tuesdays. So we are going to.
Yeah, I liked it on Tuesdays myself.
Yeah, I did too. That was the original intent. And we switched to Wednesdays because that was the day that Ray had free. So there's no reason to not go back to Tuesdays. So, and thank you.
What happens after you go to Tuesdays?
Nothing. We still cover the news. Nobody else will. We talk about how we have to stay above all the fray.
Okay.
Do you like being enchiladas? Getting caught in hurricanes. Dun, dun,
Right.
dun.
Any last things? Oh, where do they find you? Don't forget to buy gold.
Yes. Again, and if I didn't get a chance to say this, I'm not saying see you next Tuesday right now. We got a couple minutes to like, don't leave me yet. We've got a minute. Give it a second. But thank you everyone who has joined us tonight. And yes, if you want to buy gold because we just had a Fed rate cut and we're going into bricks and you want to preserve your money and make sure it stays safe, this is very easy to remember, aprilhunter.gold. Like shiny shit, aprilhunter.gold. This is a veteran-owned company. They just gave me my own happy little URL. Veteran-owned company, Wise Wolf Gold and Metal Exchange. Gold is going wild. Silver, gold, all the metals. Put your money into something that will stay stable or grow for you and your family. And that way it's one less thing to be a little concerned about. So, and you can do a recurring buy also. If you want to do something as little as $50 a month and invest, you can use a coupon code, I guess, or whatever it's called, a code 1776, and they will send you some extra constitutional silver. So that's aprilhunter.gold. They are a wonderful sponsor of the show, which we really, really appreciate. So, take a look at them, see if it's a good fit for you. Yeah. And as War Demon says, silver can also keep you safe in case of werewolves and maybe vampires as well. I don't know.
Maybe hurricanes too.
It's my favorite line on the witch show because it's about witches and vampires. And she's like, well, will a stake to the heart kill you? And then the vampire's like, a stake to the heart will kill anybody. I was like, pop. Yeah. So yeah. I think we covered pretty much everything. You guys saw the Lebanon pagers that exploded across the board. They have literally turned our devices into that. That's a little bit alarming, right?
Yeah, it is.
So yeah,
Yeah.
pagers. And not everybody was in Lebanon too. Some of the people in London, people were driving cars, people standing in line with other people behind them, and simultaneously across the board, these pagers blew up.
And then what was it? The next day they had handheld radios.
So
Same
did
thing.
they?
Oh
Same
yeah.
thing.
Yep.
That's crazy. So I mean, they could. I mean, they've been using phones to detonate IEDs forever, right? Now
Right.
they're actually using the phones and the pagers to be the IED. It's just a matter of time, right? It kind of makes you nervous a little bit to
It
think
makes me
about.
very nervous. So I mean, think about again, like you said, if something happens, you can't get a hold of family. How do you check in with them?
Yeah,
Cell towers down, whatever happens. Make sure you do the old-fashioned way.
yeah, yeah. If
Go
you don't know
stop
what
and
the
see your
old-fashioned
family.
way, if you don't know what to do, find your nearest Gen X person and ask them what to do. Because I'm not kidding you, the boomers have their own thing. Find a Gen Xer because they know how to handle this shit. I'm telling you. So you find,
Yep.
a tree. You carve something into a tree. You leave a mark
Mhm.
somewhere. You find it. Communicate. So
Oh yeah.
you have a meeting place with your friends and family. If something happens, so you all are on the same page where you'll all meet. Like if something happens and all communications go out, give it, X amount of time, and then we're all going to meet here or at somebody's
Mhm.
house or under this overpass. And that's plan A. Plan B, if that shit isn't in existence, you always have more than one plan, people.
Mhm.
If that's not going to work, this is where we're going to meet. So yeah, make sure
Yep.
you have that because we're in the
Mhm.
precipice. There's
You
some
could just
things
have a
going
power
on.
outage.
Yeah,
Just look at it that way.
right. So make sure you guys are okay. So
Thanks, War
everybody,
Demon.
make sure you're all right. Make sure you keep your pantry stocked and some water in and all that stuff. So yeah, Canada's Space says
String and
get some
cups.
string and cups and make a new phone system.
Right on.
Remember doing that?
Oh yeah, loved it too.
Yeah, it did work. So, and War Demon, thank you. Appreciate it. We do have a Discord. And if you want to go over there and join War Demon, and I peek in as well. It's great. So thank you for doing that, War Demon. I appreciate
I
that.
have been on War Demon. Thank you.
So yeah, I think that about covers it. So we got everything there. Remember, you can talk to for people who were not here earlier. There is the United Nations Pact of the Future document that passed in lieu. It was the WHO Pandemic Treaty. This was a pact that if nobody objected, it was adopted, and 193 nations did adopt it, and ours is one of them. So if you want to push back on that, it would be great because there's some stuff in there that I think would make anybody's skin crawl. Talk to your local governments, tweet them, message them, Facebook them, send them anything and push back on that. So none of us want this UN Pact of the Future going on. So now's the time, people. Let's make it a thing. Let's make it a thing. So anyway, Kenny's mom, what's up?
Yeah.
Hello, 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 hello. Hi to Kenny's mom.
Definitely. I typed it in there while you're doing that. Sorry. So, hurricane drink, hurricane party.
Yeah. Everybody,
Whoops, I was trying not
cheers.
to show a label.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Let's hope that Florida's still here in the morning.
Absolutely will be.
There we go.
Mhm.
Yep.
Cheers to us.
Yes, and thank you very much. Yeah, this is my birthday weekend is actually coming up since I had to work this last one, so I'm still accepting love, compliments, Amazon gift cards, cake, definitely cake, all the way through the weekend. Also puppies. I will accept puppies as well. So if you want to bestow any of that on me, I will be happy to take it. And also, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here. And we will see you next Tuesday. If you want to look me up, you can find me on Patreon, April Hunter, aprilhunter.com. I'm on Real April Hunter on Instagram and Twitter, April Hunter, and Ms Eva D Spirit One. She can be found across the board on all her socials with Eva D Spirit One. So You guys be safe, especially if you're, in the path of this hurricane. And lots of love to you. Okay. Mwah. Thanks so much.